Hello, friends. Welcome to another Stamp With Me Tuesday. I'm I'm running just a little bit late tonight because I got so caught up today with making projects for my next summer retreat that's coming up in June. So it's not coming up for a while, but I needed to get the projects done today. So I have been designing all day and I just got caught up and I totally lost track of the time. But I am here now and I am so excited. I'm so excited to share tonight's card making technique with you. It is going to be a Debossed Inky Resist. So let me show you the project I'm going to be making so you can see what this looks like. This is what it looks like. Really cool. And we're going to be doing this fun background that is really, really cool looking. So I hope if you are here and stamping along, go ahead and leave me a message, leave me a comment, let me know that you're stamping along with me. If you're just watching, let me know that too. And of course, if you are doing the replay, I would love to hear that you're here watching the replay. And if you're stamping with the replay or if you're going to go try it later, if you've ever done heat embossing and dry embossing together, I'd love to hear about that too, or done heat embossing with your embossing folders. Yeah, it's going to be super fun. So I'm excited. If you have never been here before, I am Heidi with Odigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist by using stamps, ink, and paper to make beautiful handmade cards and gifts just like this one. All right, Shannon, you're watching tonight along with the playoffs. Excellent. Well, hopefully I can keep your attention as much as the playoffs. Hello, Carol Sue and Kathy. So glad you guys are here. So part of the reason I'm running late, I don't have my supplies ready. So I'm going to really quick, we're going to just cut the supplies for this. So that I can finish the card, I'm grabbing a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 inch basic white thick cardstock. That's going to be my card base. And then I'm going to use a piece of basic white cardstock that is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I'm going to finish this off with a piece of peach pie that is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inches. So just cutting my cardstock super quick. Hello, Maureen. I'm so glad you caught me live as well. So cardstock ready to go. We are ready to jump into this technique, and we're going to start with the fun parts of the technique. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my embossing folder. Now I'm using the brand new Pressed Flowers embossing folder. I don't know if you can see this, but it's really quite cool. That's what I'm going to use. And what I want to do is I want to figure out which side is raised up and which side is like indented. And I'm going to ink up the indented side. Okay, so I have my embossing folder. This side is more indented. This side is more bumpy up. And it's going to depend like on your folder, how well you can tell that and how much of a difference it really makes. So on some of them, it might not make much of a difference. Now I am grabbing my Versamark ink. This is a embossing ink. You can use it for embossing. You can also use it for doing watermarks and things. I'm going to use it for embossing. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up this. And I'm just going to tap my Versamark ink pad on this embossing folder. I'm just going to ink it up. I want to get it inky. I want to try not to get the ink in the grooves though. We want to keep those grooves as much as we can. There we go. Ink that up with that Versamark. And then I'm going to take that piece of basic white paper. Now, when you're putting this down, you need to be careful because you don't want to move it. Remember, there is ink on here. So what you can actually do is come over here to the side that is uninked, and we'll put our piece of cardstock over here on this uninked side. Okay, that way we can get it straight. We can get it how we want it. And then we'll take our embossing folder and we will close it. And now we want to try not to move anything. Okay, we want that piece of paper to stay put. This is a regular embossing folder. So I'm going to grab my number 1 plate, my number 3 plate. I'm going to add my embossing folder. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make my workspace look bigger. See, I got so excited about this technique. There we go. And then I'm going to grab another number 3 plate and we'll put that on top. And I will run this through my cut and emboss machine. Now, when you are embossing, you want to make sure, you can see, I'm going to put the folded edge of my embossing folder through the embossing machine first, because if you don't do that, you risk breaking your embossing folder. So really, really important to always start with that folded edge. All right. So I rolled that through my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Hello, Holly in Wyoming and Darcy in Canada, Tammy in Montana, sorry, and Carol in DC. Wow, we're all over the place. All right. So now I've inked this up. It is inky on this side. This side should be somewhat inky, hopefully. We'll see what happens. I'm going to get out my embossing stuff. I keep it all in my little embossing tray. And I'm going to use white embossing powder on this. We'll take this all out. I'm going to dump on the white embossing powder. And we're going to dump this all over. This does use quite a bit of embossing powder. Not that you'll really notice, but it does, because we're covering this whole thing with this beautiful embossing powder. So put that on. I'm going to tap off. Oops, that's not going to do much good if I drop it. I'm going to tap off the back. All right, and then I'm going to dump this back into my I always end up with powder. Like, it doesn't stay in the tray. It always ends up on my table. We're going to dump this back in the little tub so I can keep it, use it again. I can take my brush, brush that back, brush this all out, back into the little tub. All right. And then we get to heat this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn on my heat tool, let it get warmed up. So we're just warming that up. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to get out my tweezers to kind of hold it in place. So this is going to take a minute because we have embossing powder all over this stuff. I did not use the pouch stuff because we actually have embossing powder all over the front of this piece of cardstock. It is really, really embossed. And it's going to get stray bits everywhere, but it's okay. This is not a technique that is perfect. It's okay to have a little bit of flaws and inconsistency. All right. So this is going to take me a minute because it is a lot of area. Let me see if I can pick this up and show you. Show you the half I've kind of done. Maybe you can see that. It's getting glossy over there. Okay. So I'll just keep going on this side. And it just takes a few minutes. It's a really big area. There's a lot of embossing on there. All right. We are getting there. All right. So hopefully this is covered. I'm going to look at it first and see if it all looks shiny. I got a spot down here. I can tell it's not shiny. All right, let's try it again. Let's see. So I'm just looking, making sure this whole thing is shiny, and then I'll touch it. I don't like I don't like to touch the powder. The powder just, ugh, it's so thin and so fine. I don't know about you. Do you guys like, when you go to the beach, the sand? Not a fan of the sand. I don't like that. That's fine feeling. I don't know. Ugh, ugh. So, all right, there we go. We got that all done. Now we're going to get inky. This is the messy part. All right. So I'm going to grab some ink pads. I am going to grab, let me see. Let's grab our strawberry slush and peach pie. And let's do timid tiger as well. All right. So I grabbed strawberry slush, peach pie, and timid tiger. Come to Maine, you have no sand. Well, and Michigan sand doesn't bother me as much. Michigan sand is coarser than other sand. All right, so now I'm going to take my ink pads. I've just opened them up, and I'm just going to, and I should have started with the lightest color. Here's me not following my own normal instructions. I'm going to switch over to my peach pie, come in with my lightest color first. This is just going to keep your pads from getting gross. So I want to cover an area that is big enough for my piece of cardstock. Right? We'll come in with some timid tiger. Add that in as well. And now I'll come in with some more strawberry slush. Go in the correct order here. This way we're just getting the darker colors. So if they get a little bit of the orange ink on them, it won't make a difference. All right, so I have this. I am using my glass mat tonight. You could use some other porous surface. You could use the silicone craft sheet. You could use like a piece of wax paper, any sort of like non-porous surface. The glass mat works really, really well for this. And I'm going to pull out my Stampin Spritzer. I just have water in here. And we're going to get this spritzy and wet. And you know what? I was supposed to use thick basic white for this. So hopefully this works okay. This is what happens when I get busy making things. I forget what I'm doing. But I'm so excited for retreat this summer. It's going to be great. All right. I'm going to take my piece of white and I'm going to put this in this inky wet mess. All right. And we're just going to push it down. And it's going to bleed through a lot because this is just basic white. I meant to do it with basic white thick. Basic white thick is going to work a lot better. Was not thinking. All right. Now we're going to pick that up and look at that. See how we get that beautiful, beautiful background. Pretty, pretty stuff. And it's just going to stick. Now, if I have some spots in there that are like a little bit extra inky, you can come in. I don't know where to put this so you can see. We can come in with a piece of paper towel. We can kind of wipe some of the extra ink off. If you have some spots that look like maybe I could have gotten a little more ink there, we can come in and just see if we can get more, or it might just be that there is too much embossing powder there. Okay. But there we go. Let's do right here, the edge. There we go. All right. So really pretty fun background. Isn't that cool? So cool. I just want to do some more in the center here. Oh, there we go. It's a little brighter. All right. Now I'm just going to clean off. Isn't that pretty? I just think that's pretty, just like that. All right. I am going to wipe this off. Holly, you love sand on your toes. I don't know. Like, I don't mind walking in the sand. That is fine. I don't like the sand that gets like stuck to you and doesn't come off. Like I said, the sand in Michigan is not too bad. It's very coarse. But when we lived in South Carolina, their sand is like super, super fine. And it would be stuck to you and it would just be that gritty. I don't know. That really tiny gritty. Anyway, all right. I'm cleaning off my glass mat so I can keep using it. And we're going to finish this off into a card just to show you. So I'm going to let this dry. It's very floppy because I did use basic white instead of basic white thick. Oopsie doopsies. I'm going to grab some cardstock. I just have some white. We're going to stamp some flowers. So I'm going to use the Impressions of Bloom stamp set because I love it. I think this might be one of my new favorites. Until the whole catalog comes out. Until I can get more things. Look at all the crud I have in there. All right. We just need these flowers and the centers. Oh, Tammy, that is a good question. If everyone is okay from the tornadoes. There have been a lot of tornadoes. All right. And we haven't had tornadoes, but ooh, it has been windy. Not today, but other days. It's been blowing around. All right. So let me see. I got to get out. Normally I put these all in blocks ahead of time. Like I said, I was busy preparing for retreat. If you are wondering all the details for retreat, make sure you're on my email list. All the details are going to be in tomorrow's email. You're going to want to sign up. You're going to want to come join us because it's going to be amazing fun. Yeah, and I don't want to give away anything, but registration opens tomorrow, and all the details will be in my email. You're looking for forward to trying this out. Yes, it's so much fun. It's so cool, and of course, I have other samples to share with you too. So we'll look at those after I turn this into a full card. I do want to turn this into a card. So I'm going to start with, let me see. And sometimes, you guys, I make things and I forget what colors I use. I'm hoping that I'm picking this out right. I'm going to do some peach pie. And then I think this is Timid Tiger, but I might have just done Strawberry Slush. Ooh, the Fern embossing folder. That sounds fun. So with this set, there is one petal that kind of sticks out more than the rest, and that's the petal I use to help me line things up. And I meant to stamp the detail first. Yeah, I think I used Strawberry Slush on these. We're going to switch to Strawberry Slush. You want the pressed flowers folder? Oh, it's a great one. It is a great, great one. All right. I'm going to use the Strawberry Slush. I'm going to make another one that's all Strawberry Slush. There we go. And then we're also going to fill in this one with Strawberry Slush, see if that is the right color. Yes. All right. Let's do two more because I totally messed that one up. So we'll just do this again. All right. It's all good. That's why they're stamps. That's why they're paper. We can just keep thinking, keep making things. Oh my goodness, you had a tornado in Montana. That does not sound good. All right. So we're gonna make two orange ones with Strawberry Slush and Peach Pie. And then I'm going to make one pink one with Strawberry Slush and Strawberry Slush. So I'm going to clean off my stamp, pull back out my Strawberry Slush, pull back in my scrap paper. And we're going to do this last one in Strawberry Slush and Strawberry Slush. So I'm going to ink this up with Strawberry Slush, tap it off on my paper, and then stamp it. There we go. So pretty. I love these flowers. Love, love, love them. What did I do here? All right. Let's add centers to these with the pecan pie. Pecan pie. I'm going to do, now with the center, I do like to turn it around so that when I put my flowers on, I can make them go different directions. I'm not sure that you're supposed to be able to do that because the center is a little bit not circular, but I do it anyway. All right, so there are my 3 flowers. And now I'm going to cut these out with the coordinating dies. So we'll set this up. I got to put my number 2 plate back under here. And then the number 3 plate. I have to find the dies. So this is the Impressions of Bloom set. I'm going to do this. We're going to have to run it through 3 times because there's only one to cut out the flower. And I used all 3 the same flower, but oh well. All right. So we'll cover that up, run this through. I'm going to run this through 3 different times. So talks amongst yourselves. Or just leave me comments. All right. You love the strawberry slush? Me too. I am loving the strawberry slush. I'm loving all the ink colors this year. I'm like really, really loving them. I was not sure about the Secret Sea at first. I was like, that was a really dark blue. Like, why is this useful? Now I love it. I love all of them. You love the strawberry slush and peach pie combo? Oh, yeah. Oh, I love it all. All right. There we go. Here's number 2. And we'll do one more. And again, I look for this petal that sticks out more. And that's what I use to line up my die as well as the stamps. So. All right. Now I have my 3 flowers. I do need to stamp the sentiment yet. So, did we have the strawberry slush color in the post? I think so. If I remember correctly. I love the strawberry slush. All right, we're going to stamp our sentiment. I have the I appreciate you sentiment. I'm hoping it will fit like right in here. It will. So we're going to cut it out so it doesn't have to be straight or anything. And I'm going to stamp this in strawberry slush as well. We have a strawberry slush theme. All right. There we go. And I'm gonna fussy cut this because it just felt like it needed to be fussy cut. So we'll come in here. I'm going to cut this off to make it a little bit easier. And then I'm just going to cut around and make it kind of, you know, curvy and loopy like bubble letters. Moving the paper more than I move the scissors. And just coming in and out and in and out. Now you could have cut this in a straight line if you wanted to. I like the bubbly look. All right. Put it down here. And around. And around my P's. Minding my P's and Q's. Okay, there's no Q in here. And I'm not reading your comments right this minute, so you could be saying anything right now. But I'm very much concentrated on doing my fussy cutting. You know how it goes. All right. There we go. So now we can put this together. This is now dried pretty well. It doesn't take up or block the background. Very true. It kind of just, yeah. All right, so this is pretty dry. I'm going to adhere this to my peach pie. Isn't that a pretty color combo? Now, because this is embossed, I'm going to put more glue on there than I maybe would sometimes. But since it's bumpy, we need it to make sure we really hold it down. And we'll just hold that for just a second, get it to glue in place. It's still a little wet, so it wants to kind of curl still, but we'll just hold that down. Oh, so pretty. All right. And then I have my basic white card base. Now, I did pre-make this one this week because I wanted to make sure that it was going to work. But I have 3 more samples I'm going to share with you. So don't go anywhere because you're going to want to see what this looks like with some different embossing folders. All right. There we go. So pretty. I'm going to glue my flowers down. Now, I like to have the center of my flower, the part that is like a little bit less. I like to figure that that is like facing wherever the sun is, or ish, kind of. So, or that they're all facing the same direction. And that, so I turned it around as I was going so that the petals would all be a little bit different. Because I don't like it when all the petals are the exact same direction, right? Because you can tell, like you can tell it's the same stamp. So I like them to be a little bit different. All right, I'm almost out of dimensionals. We're going to have to start a new sheet very soon. I'm going to have to cut these. Cut, cut, cut. All the way down. All right. And I'm just putting these on like a little, in a little staggered 3. So, all right, here we go. A couple more. And I'm kind of like not putting too many dimensionals and leaving them pretty far from the edges so that I can still fit it under there. What are we looking for? I missed it. So they just need to hurry and fix the color. I think you're talking about the cloud cover. I don't know. I hope that they're able to fix it, but I can't say that I really have high hopes. All right, there's my 3 flowers. I'm going to grab some peach pie ribbon. So, and I'm going to do a little, we're just going to do a little foley thing here. So I'm going to cut my piece in just a second. Just kind of trying to get this what length I want it. My cat's going to come in here, I think, and meow at me very soon. I'm just going to use some mini glue dots to glue this down. I'm going to put one on right there. And we're just going to stick this under here. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, the Pressed Flowers folder. It's really, really pretty. This is all part of this suite. And this is an online exclusive suite that is coming on May 6th. So I just put down another little mini glue dot right there. And I'm just folding that back. And then I'm going to grab another mini glue dot and layer that one on top. You can hardly wait to try it. Oh, no, it's so much fun. All right, we want this to be like this. Yeah, okay. So figuring out where I want to put this little glue dot. We're just going to glue it. We're going to put the sentiment over top of this, so it doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. And now the sentiment's going to come in here and kind of cover up the center of that. And I'm just going to put adhesive on the ends of my sentiment, and they're going to get held up with those flowers. So we have one more little thing because we need to put some embellishments. I mean, the ribbon's an embellishment. We need to put more. We need to put some bling on here. There we go. Let me pull out These are the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems. Oh, they're so pretty. And I'm going to use them. All right, let's grab a big one. I'm going to put a big one right here. I'm going to put a small one and next to that. We'll grab another big one. I'm going to put a big one over here. And then a small one next to that. And then I'm going to grab one more big one. And I'm going to put that like down here. There we go. And there is my finished card. There we go. Oh, does that help you, Cindy? I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Try to clear out some space here so we can look at the card. Does this help? Maybe so. There we go. So there we go. There is that card. Let me show you my other cards. So I have 3 more cards using all different folders and stamp sets. So here is another one I did. This is with the You Are Remarkable stamp set. This is the stamp set that we're using for the May online card class. And I used it with the new Damask background folder. So isn't that cool? It's very like subtle because I did it in, I think, Lemon Lolly, Daffodil Delight, and Peach Pie. So it gives it a very subtle background look. Isn't that fun? All right. And then this one, I thought this turned out really cool. I used the Soft Wave. Now that is a 3D embossing folder that has tons of texture to it. And so it just really gives this, very uneven look because that embossing powder just kind of sticks in weird spots. But I love that. And I used it with the Ocean Friends stamp set, which I love. I'm so sad it's retiring. If you don't have it yet, you should get it. And I embossed my little crab. I embossed him on glimmer paper. So he's shiny too. Ah, so much fun. I just love the way this looks though. It looks all like tie-dye and stuff. And this is in Summer Splash, Lemon Lime Twist, and Granny Apple Green. So the next one uses similar colors. Yep, Kim, I inked up the folder with embossing ink. And then we embossed it. You're going to want to go back and watch from the beginning because it is a whole thing. There was quite a few steps to tonight's. All right, so this is with the new Turtley Awesome stamp set and the new turtle texture background, I think it is called. And I love the way this looks. So cool. This I used Lemon Lime Twist, Summer Splash, and Peach Pie. So isn't that sweet? And of course, I added my little turtle. I love this little turtle. Okay, so wasn't really sure about these turtles. I thought they were a little creepy looking at first, but I love the fact that the dies cut around his arm so you can stick things underneath his arm and make it look like he's really carrying it. I think that's so cool. So there we go. There are my 4 cards that I have to share with you this evening. I am going to go over onto the Facebook page. I'm going to post a picture of my card from tonight. And I'm hoping that if you try out this technique and you make a card using this technique, that you will come over and you will put leave a comment with a picture of your card, because I think it is so much fun to see what all the different embossing folders look like with this technique, because they all look a little bit different, right? Because they're different, like they react a little bit differently, how much the embossing powder sticks or doesn't stick. So super, super excited. Can't wait to see what y'all come up with. And of course, I'll be back next week. Next week is the 5th Tuesday. If I am not mistaken, we have 5 Tuesdays in the month of April. And that means we're going to be doing a one sheet wonder next week, Tuesday. We're going to make, 4 or 5 cards out of one piece of 6x6 pattern paper. And I think it's going to be awesome. I don't know yet though, because I haven't quite designed them. But I know they're always awesome. And it's a really great way to make some quick cards. So, all right. Don't forget, free shipping starts tomorrow. Yay! Free shipping on all orders over $75 in product, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Amazing deal. So, and I hate to tell you this, cardstock prices are going up with the new catalog. So now is a really good time to stock up on things like cardstock. Okay. So anyway, if you have questions, contact me. Otherwise, have a fabulous evening, a fabulous rest of your week. And I will see you next week, Tuesday. Bye-bye.